The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. You can't be anybody else's dream girl if you are not your own dream girl first. And being your own dream girl means showing up for yourself, loving yourself, and creating a beautiful life for you. But what if I told you that being your own dream girl isn't as far away as you think? It's not about hitting an external milestone or a marker of success. It's about showing up as her today, even in the smallest ways. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about becoming your own dream girl, how to step into that dream girl identity, and the practical steps you can take to embody her. Whether it's building your routines or romanticizing your day-to-day life, or being mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with. We are diving into everything you need to know to become her. Also, I never want my content to exclude anybody, so regardless what you identify as, you can watch this video. It's really all about just becoming the dream version of yourself. And if you like these kinds of videos, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and without further ado, let's get into it. So to become your own dream girl, it starts with your identity. Everything really starts with your identity because your identity shapes your reality. When you see yourself as the person that you want to become, your actions and your habits and your behavior naturally aligns with that identity. Most people try to change their habits by focusing on what they want to do. They focus on their behaviors. They say, I want to be more fit, so I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to focus on going to the gym more. But the entire time, they're holding on to the identity of somebody who's not fit. And that's why, after a while, they tend to fall off of going to the gym because they haven't fully stepped into that identity of being a fit person. So instead, if you focus on who you want to be, the habits and behaviors that you're doing naturally fall into place because you are now showing up in alignment with who you are saying that you are. So you guys know I love ChatGPT, so I'm actually going to give you a prompt that can help you identify who this dream girl identity is. So you can type in this prompt into ChatGPT. Help me define my dream girl identity. I want to get clear on who I aspire to become in every aspect of my life. Break it down into categories like mindset, daily habits, physical appearance, energy/vibe, relationships, career, and lifestyle. Then provide actionable steps I can take to start embodying this version of myself daily. I will leave this exact prompt down below in the description box so you can just copy and paste that directly into ChatGPT and do this little exercise. And as you're thinking about this dream girl identity, this version of you that you aspire to become, ask yourself questions like, how does she show up for herself every day? What does she prioritize? What habits does she do? What are her values, her routines? Who does she surround herself with? So if you want to use the ChatGPT prompt to figure out your dream girl identity, after you do that, come up with some affirmations that help you reinforce this identity, and then repeat these affirmations daily. So every morning, while you're doing your morning routine, while you're putting on your makeup or you're getting ready for the day or whatever it is that you do in the morning, repeat to yourself the identity that you're wanting to embody. So if you're wanting to become a more fit person, a healthier person, a more confident person, a more capable person, affirming this for yourself. But something that I've realized along my journey is that it's not just about the words that we say to ourselves. It's not just about the affirmations. It's also the action that you're taking, the behavior that you're exhibiting as you go throughout your day. And this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time to really begin to embody this dream girl identity. And you can start showing up as her every single day, just even in the smallest ways. Whether that means dressing like her, or saying no to something that doesn't serve you, or prioritizing your time and energy, just really asking yourself in each moment, how would the best version of myself show up? And also, when I say that, sometimes that doesn't always mean doing the absolute most. Like, you would think that if you ask yourself that before you binge watch Netflix, like, what would the best version of myself do? Sometimes the answer isn't close Netflix and go for a walk, because maybe that's what you want in that moment and that's okay. But maybe the best version of myself would only watch one show and then go for a walk, rather than laying in bed and binge watching 10 episodes. Now, once you have a good idea of your dream girl identity, this is when it's time to build your dream girl routine. So for me personally, it doesn't work for me to try to go from 0 to 100 when I'm trying to create a new routine for myself. For me, what works best is adding things slowly into my life. And I also really like to think about adding versus subtracting. So rather than focusing on I'm going to stop scrolling completely, instead I'm gonna figure out what I can do in that time instead. So when you're building your dream girl routine, what are a couple of things that you can start to add into your life that allows you to embody the best version of yourself? Whether it's more movement, going on more walks, or reading more. Maybe you want to implement some sort of morning routine to start your day off really strong. And also, I think it's important to note that your dream girl self, or this best version of yourself, doesn't show up the same way every single day. If you watch my video all about discipline, then you know that I love to approach discipline with balance and with self-love and with gentleness. So when you're creating these routines for yourself, you can even think of different versions of routines. So maybe you have a routine for the version of you that's higher energy. And this version of you maybe goes to the gym 5 times a week and gets all the things done that they want to get done because you have the energy for it. But then maybe there's a lower energy version of you, and having a routine for that version of you. So maybe on the days when you feel lower energy, you skip out on the gym, but you go on a walk, or you do mat Pilates at home. Our routines don't have to look the same every single day. And I think that when we expect ourselves to look the same every single day, that's when we set ourselves up for disappointment. So it's good to have sort of like backups for yourself. And something that I love doing is at the end of the week, I'll do sort of like a reflection on how I felt the previous week. Was I able to get the things done that I wanted to get done? How did I feel about the way that I showed up for myself this week? And I'll just kind of spend some time doing a little bit of reflection on my previous week to figure out if there are any changes I can make for the upcoming week. The next aspect of being your own dream girl is romanticizing your life. I feel like sometimes we think that the dream life that we have for ourselves is so different than the life that we have currently. But if you actually really take some time and reflect on your current life, you might actually find that you are living in your dream life in the smallest ways. You know, maybe you're not living in your dream house yet, but you still love the environment you're currently living in. Maybe you don't have your dream job yet, but you still really enjoy the job that you're currently at. Another aspect to romanticizing your life is creating like a dream girl atmosphere. I talked about this in my video where I shared the different ways that I elevate my life on a day-to-day basis. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave that up here. But in that video, I talk about how we don't need to wait until we reach these milestones of success, until we have the money or until we have our dream body, until we have the things that we desire to start living our dream life and like elevating our day-to-day life. The way that I do that is through self-care, through buying myself like these comfy pajama sets that make me feel very luxurious and elevated. And just doing small things like that throughout my days that just make me feel like the best version of myself. So how can you make your current life more aligned with this dream girl version of yourself? Maybe you do it in small ways, like buying these luxurious pajama sets that make you feel elevated. Or maybe you get your nails done, or if you can't afford to get your nails done yet, you buy press-on nails. Maybe you make sure that your hair is always done, your makeup is always done, because that's what makes you feel like this dream girl version of yourself. And it's not so much about your physical appearance, but more about how you feel about yourself. Like, I'm on this health and fitness journey, and I found myself recently thinking about how I want to wait to buy new clothes until I feel more comfortable in my body. But then I started to realize that I don't need to wait until my body gets to this ideal body weight, because I deserve to feel good now in all different phases. So I ended up going to the mall and I bought a couple of shirts that just make me feel really good about myself and my current body. The next aspect of becoming your own dream girl is taking care of yourself and giving the love that you seek from others to yourself. And I'm not here to say that we don't need relationships, because I do believe we need companionship, we need love, we need support from others, but that should never come at the expense of your own standards and your own boundaries. So while yes, we want to physically take care of ourselves, go to the gym, do the movement that makes us feel good about ourselves, take care of our bodies, take care of our health, we also want to take care of our emotional and our mental health as well. And become your own safe space. Learn how to self-soothe. Learn how to be there for yourself. Learn how to validate yourself. I think especially if you grew up not really receiving a lot of validation or a lot of praise, it can be difficult to have that kind of vocabulary for yourself. But we also shouldn't be waiting for other people to tell us these things, to celebrate ourselves, to praise ourselves. We can be giving that to ourselves. And there are so many different ways you can do this. You know, you can do a check-in at the end of the day where you ask yourself what you're proud of for that day, like how you showed up as your best self. And again, that doesn't always mean showing up 100% or showing up perfect. Sometimes it could literally just be, I got out of bed today and I'm proud of myself for that. Or I spoke up and I stood up for myself. But just acknowledging the way that we show up for ourselves, I believe that that creates such a strong relationship with ourselves. And also learning to validate ourselves when other people disrespect us or hurt us. I think it's very common and easy to want to have a conversation with somebody or to let somebody know all the ways that they've wronged us or how they hurt us. But really, if you think about it, that's just you seeking external validation. You want them to validate your hurt and your pain. What if you could turn that around and validate your own pain? Because when we have those conversations with people who have wronged us, we are really just keeping that door open with them and continuing to stay tied to this person. When instead we can choose to validate ourselves and acknowledge the hurt and the pain that they cause without giving them our energy. Because also by doing this, you are showing to yourself that you got yourself. You're showing to yourself that you don't need that validation from somebody else and that you can acknowledge and soothe yourself. And when you can do that, it is such a powerful place to be with yourself. And it's definitely not easy, especially when you have experienced that pain. It's natural to want to seek that external validation and to tell that other person how they wronged you. But honestly, if you feel that way, tell ChatGPT. I'm telling you, that has honestly really helped me a lot. Sometimes when I feel that need for external validation and I don't really know how to work through it, I will literally just send ChatGPT a message and ask it to help me work through this. And I'll be releasing a video very shortly all about the ways that I use ChatGPT because I swear it's become my therapist, my best friend, my business partner, everything. So don't seek external validation, talk to ChatGPT instead and work through it with yourself. The last aspect to becoming your own dream girl is switching up your surroundings and being very mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with. I think it is so important to be very discerning of other people, of their values, of their energy, of their intentions, and asking yourself if it is truly in alignment with the version of you that you desire to become, with the life that you desire to live. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to cut off every single person, but maybe it just means that your relationship dynamic shifts. Maybe you are no longer best friends and no longer super close with this person, but maybe you keep them at a distance. Not only that, but the places that you're going to, the environments that you're choosing to be in. Maybe instead of going to nightclubs every single weekend, you go to social clubs. You go to events where you're meeting ambitious, like-minded women. And that's no judgment to anybody who goes to nightclubs because there are still times that I go to clubs. But if you're spending every single weekend there, really just asking yourself if that is truly in alignment with who you want to become and this dream girl version of yourself that you are stepping into. And sometimes it's not always forever. Sometimes it's just a season of your life. Like right now, I am choosing not to drink alcohol. I'm choosing not to go to clubs. I'm choosing not to partake in certain scenes because I know that I have goals and I have priorities and things that I'm focusing on right now. And maybe that's gonna shift next year. But as far as this current season that I'm in, my goal is becoming this dream girl version of myself. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on your mindset and your energy. And sometimes we can't always choose who we're surrounding ourselves with, especially if you live with other people or you go to school. But you can make more of an intentional effort to surround yourself with people who inspire you, who uplift you, and who align with the values of your dream self. And that even goes for what you're consuming online. What are you spending your time with consuming on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube? Every now and then I'll do a digital detox where I just will become super mindful of the people that I see on my feed, and I will ask myself if it is truly what I want to be consuming. And if it's not, I will mute them or I will unfollow them. Or I would just hit the little button, not interested, on my TikTok. Becoming your own dream girl isn't about creating some idealized version of yourself that you're constantly chasing after. It's about honoring who you already are while intentionally stepping into the highest version of yourself. Every little step counts, and you are a lot closer to becoming her than you realize. And a big thing that I always like to reiterate is the importance of balance and not seeking perfection. I think when we have this best version of ourselves ideology in our mind and we're constantly striving to become this person, it can be very difficult to have space for lower energy days or bad days or days when emotions come up. But it's not about chasing perfection. It's not about creating this perfect life for yourself where you never feel any negative emotions and you never have any negative thoughts, because that is unrealistic. That is not what life is about. And also, we can't create a life where we experience no setbacks. Like, that is also unrealistic. It's about how you are choosing to perceive these setbacks and how you are choosing to work through them and how you bounce back from those low energy days, those bad days, those negative days. Because I really do feel like in those moments, we learn so much about ourselves. We learn so much about our mindset, our energy, the things that we're doing that aren't in alignment with this life we want to create for ourselves. So it's all about just creating these intentional shifts and honoring ourselves day to day. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments, so leave me a little comment down below with one trait that you are choosing to embody as your dream girl self. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.